And so when we get to chapter 15, Saul at this point had made a series of mistakes and had stepped over the line and had done some things. And God is getting a little sick and tired of Saul. Now, God had never intended for Saul to be last that king that long anyway. His always intention was for David. But Saul had to, God had to let the people see, I'm going to show you, you want a king? I'm going to show you a king, to show you the right kind of king you ought to be looking for. And so we get to chapter 15, we are reminded that if God puts you in service, if God elevates you, if God lifts you up, if God gives you an opportunity to serve, if God calls you into his service, if God's going to use you, if God's going to put his hand on you, if God's going to anoint you, if God's going to bless you, if God's going to give you a certain amount of abilities to use for his glory, you ought to be grateful, you ought to be thankful, you ought to be humble, you ought to be someone who every time you get a chance decides to serve God with excellence, to honor him in every aspect of what you do and every aspect of what you say, knowing that God did not have to choose you. God didn't choose you because you had it all together. God chose you because he's God and he can use anything. And so don't just start thinking that you have it because you all of that and that you got it all together. You only have it because God saw fit to give it to you. And you don't want to ever get to the place where you forget that it was God that lifted you. And what happens is Saul started to believe his own hype. Saul started to believe his folk around him. Saul started to believe his campaign manager. Saul started to believe his press secretary. Saul started to believe all the folk that were around him. And he started to get a big head. And he could do stuff that he did not call to do. And do stuff that God didn't anoint him to do. And do stuff that God didn't say he had permission to do. You got to go back into chapter 13. Saul decides that instead of being the king, he's going to start acting like a priest. God didn't call him to do that. And then Saul is going to do a sacrifice in chapter 13. Samuel is going to hear about it and tell him, what are you doing? And then Saul's going to make an excuse. Well, I couldn't wait for you. I had to go do it. Nah, man. You were stepping over the line. How arrogant do you think that you can step into an anointed position without an anointing? How arrogant do you think you can do something where other folk are well qualified to do and you're not even closely qualified to do? How dare you think that you can do something that somebody's been doing since they were a little man and got this thing down together, that thing you can just step in and do what a priest does? How dare you think you haven't done anything, you don't have anything on your resume? How dare, without any permission from God, think you can start offering sacrifices? And there's folk today with no experience, no resume, think they can do something that folk had trained to do, worked hard to do, and do that thing as good as they. I don't have to tell you what I'm talking about. I'll let you read between the lines. But then we get to chapter 16, God has had enough. God had given Saul one last assignment. He said, the Amalekites have been, I'm tired of them folk. They're wicked people. He says, Saul, go destroy them. Saul did half of the job. While Saul was in the mission of this military campaign, he saw riches. He saw cattle. He saw sheep. And he decided, instead of doing what God said, he was going to take some stuff. Now, Samuel doesn't know about this. Samuel is relaxing. He's chilling. He's taking it easy. He doesn't know that he's about to get a call from upper management. Because there is somebody above the king's pay grade. Samuel is relaxing in his corner office. Seems like everything is going well. He's watching CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. He's heard that the battle has gone well. But he sees the phone. And that phone only rings when the person that's over the person calls. It rings in the midnight hour. Samuel, I'm sick and tired of the king. I regret I put him in this position. That's a real-time thing, saying at this moment, Saul, he's making me feel sorry about it. Go tell him his services are no longer required. The scriptures say that Samuel could not sleep. He was upset. The text says, and he cried out all night long. Samuel was there when they anointed him. Samuel was there when they said, he's going to be the king. Samuel was there when he told the people, don't ask for a king. You got to understand, oftentimes people don't listen to the prophet until it's too late. Samuel's crying. He said, he doesn't know how am I going to do this? He gets up, because he doesn't know what happened. He gets there and he says, where is Saul? And they said, Saul has gone down to Carmel. He's made a monument for himself. And then he went on down to Gilgal. You want to get fired? You start thinking it's for you to make a monument for yourself. You start thinking it's for you to make a name for yourself. You know what you do with monuments? You put your image on it and your name. And when God has put you on an assignment, it's not for your image and it's not for your name. It's for God to get all the glory and it's for God to get all the honor. The scriptures say that when he went to look for Saul, the folks said he has made a monument for himself. You want to get fired in this thing? You make it about you.